Have you ever looked at a bright red apple and just it would taste sweet? Or seen a vibrant yellow lemon and your mouth puckered just thinking about it? Now, I want you to imagine taking that one step further. What if you could actually taste colors? Like every single color had its own unique flavor. That bright red isn't just sweet, it's the taste of pure, sugary candy. That yellow? It's not just sour, it's an explosion of spicy, zesty flavor that makes your eyes water. Forget everything you think you know about your senses, because today, we are going to break reality. This isn't just about tasting colors. We're diving headfirst into some of the craziest what-if scenarios you could possibly imagine. We're going to completely flip the script on reality. What if you could hear a sunrise? What if gravity just stopped working? These aren't just simple questions, they are gateways to worlds that are completely different from our own. We're exploring concepts that will challenge everything you've ever learned about the world, and I promise you, by the end of this video, your brain is going to be doing backflips. So, I need you to buckle up seriously, find a comfortable seat, maybe grab a snack that probably only tastes like a snack for now, and prepare for a journey that will bend your mind in ways you never thought possible. We are about to explore 5 insane, reality-shattering scenarios that will make you question everything. Are you ready to see how wild the universe could be? Let's get into it. Alright, let's start with the big one, tasting colors. Imagine waking up in the morning. Your boring, white walls now taste like unsalted crackers, but your bright blue curtains, they have the tangy, sour flavor of a blue raspberry slushie. You walk into your kitchen and the green of your plants tastes like fresh mint and lime. The entire world has just transformed into the biggest buffet you have ever seen. A trip to the grocery store would be an insane adventure. The produce aisle would be a symphony of flavors before you even took a single bite. The deep purple of an eggplant might be a rich, savory umami flavor, while the orange of a carrot is a sugary, citrusy burst. Think about how this would change everything. Art galleries would become 5-star restaurants. You wouldn't just look at a Van Gogh painting, you would experience its swirling blues and vibrant yellows as a complex meal of tart and spicy notes. Imagine standing in front of Starry Night and tasting the deep, brooding flavor of the night sky mixed with the zesty pops of the stars. Fashion would be completely revolutionized. People wouldn't just dress to look good, they'd dress to taste good. Your outfit could be your lunch. You could wear a spicy red shirt to feel energized or a calm, sweet lavender-flavored sweater to relax. This is a world where flavor is literally everywhere. But it's not all fun and games. What would a dull, gray, rainy day taste like? Probably like wet cardboard and sadness. And what about colors you don't like? If the color brown tastes like dirt, imagine living in a house with wooden floors. It would be a constant, unpleasant taste in your mouth. And think about driving. A red stoplight would scream, "sweet," in your mouth, while a green go light would taste like sour apple. It would be a sensory overload, a constant barrage of flavors hitting you from every single direction. Life would be an endless, chaotic, and delicious feast for the senses. Okay, that was wild, but now we're going to swap all your senses around. This is where it gets really weird. Imagine you wake up and instead of seeing light, you hear it. Your eyes don't process images anymore, they process sound waves. A silent room would be pitch black to you, a void of nothingness. But the moment someone starts talking, their words would appear in front of you as shimmering, colorful patterns of light. Every sound would have a unique visual signature. A bird chirping outside your window wouldn't be a sound, it would be a beautiful, fluttering cascade of bright yellow sparks dancing in the air. Concerts would be the most insane visual spectacles ever created. You wouldn't just hear the music, you would see it. A heavy metal concert would be a chaotic explosion of jagged red and black lightning bolts flashing before your eyes. A classical orchestra would be a gentle, flowing river of soft blues and greens, each instrument painting its own part of the visual masterpiece. You could literally watch your favorite song unfold. And what about seeing with your ears? You'd navigate the world like a bat, using echolocation. You'd see the shape of a room by listening to how sounds bounce off the walls, creating a mental map of your surroundings. But think about the challenges. How would you read a book? Would each letter have to be a specific sound for you to see the words? A library would have to be the noisiest place on earth instead of the quietest. And watching a movie? It would be a completely different experience. The dialogue would create visuals, but so would every footstep, every explosion, every subtle background noise, all overlapping into a potentially chaotic mess of light and color. You'd have to learn to focus on the sound of the actors' voices to see them. your entire perception of reality would be fundamentally rewired. You wouldn't just see the world differently, you would experience its very fabric in a way we can't even comprehend. Let's push this even further. Forget just messing with our senses. What if we change the laws of physics? Let's start with something simple, but honestly pretty insane. What if you could walk through walls? The rule that two objects can't occupy the same space at the same time? Gone. You could just phase through solid matter. No more needing keys for your house, you just walk right through the front door. Locked in a bank vault? No problem, just step right out. This would completely break the idea of security and privacy. Prisons would be useless. Fort Knox would be as easy to get into as like a public park. This power, known as quantum tunneling on a macro scale, would change everything about how we build our world. Why have doors or windows? Buildings could just be solid blocks. You'd have to be careful though. What happens if you try to walk through a wall and the power cuts out halfway? Are you stuck in there forever? Or what if you accidentally phase through the floor and end up in the center of the earth? The simple act of walking down the street would be a massive risk. You could fall through the planet if you're not constantly focused on staying solid. And it's not just walking through walls. What if other laws were different? What if the law of conservation of energy didn't apply? You could create a perpetual motion machine, a device that runs forever, providing infinite free energy to the entire world. This would solve the energy crisis overnight. Or what if we could manipulate the strong nuclear force, the thing that holds atoms together? You could turn lead into gold, or wood into diamond. The entire global economy, based on scarcity, would collapse. We would be living in a post-scarcity world where anything is possible, but also where a single mistake could unmake the very atoms of your body. Okay, this next one is my favorite. Imagine you wake up one morning and gravity is just gone. It's not weaker, it's completely switched off. The moment you wake up, you and your bed start gently floating towards the ceiling. Every loose object in your room, your phone, your lamp, your clothes, is now just drifting in midair. The simple act of getting out of bed is now a major navigational challenge. You'd have to push off the ceiling to propel yourself towards the door, carefully avoiding floating obstacles. Forget walking, you'd be swimming through the air inside your own home. Daily life would be an absolute nightmare at first. How do you cook? The water would float out of the pot, the food would drift off your plate. How do you use the toilet? I'm not even going to get into the details of that, but it would be a huge problem. But once we adapted, think of the possibilities. Sports would be incredible. Basketball would be played in 3 dimensions, with players launching themselves from one end of the court to the other. Soccer would involve players ricocheting off the ceiling to head the ball. We would be living in a real-life game of Quidditch, minus the brooms. Our entire world would be redesigned. Cities wouldn't just be built outwards, they'd be built upwards in giant spherical structures. We'd have magnetic boots or special suits to keep us anchored when we needed to be, but relationships would change too. A simple hug would be different. You'd have to hold on tight, or you'd both just drift apart. Sleeping would mean strapping yourself into a harness so you don't bump into things all night. It's a world without limits, a world of total freedom of movement, but also a world where one wrong push could send you floating endlessly into the sky, with nothing to stop you from drifting off into space. For our final, most mind-breaking scenario, what if time wasn't just a concept? What if it was a physical dimension, just like length, width, and height? Imagine you could see time stretched out in front of you like a long road. You could see your past behind you as a physical path you've already walked, and your future ahead as a path yet to be traveled. You wouldn't just remember your childhood, you could literally turn around, walk back, and watch it happen all over again. You could revisit your favorite moments, your happiest memories anytime you wanted. This would fundamentally change the human experience. Making decisions would be completely different. Before you make a choice, you could just peek down the different timelines branching off from that decision. Should I take this job? You could just walk a little way down that timeline and see how it turns out. If you don't like it, you just walk back and choose the other path. The concepts of regret and mistakes would essentially disappear. You could optimize your life for maximum happiness, avoiding every wrong turn, every painful moment. You would be the ultimate master of your own destiny. But this power would have a terrifying dark side. If you can see your own future, you would also see your own death. You would see the exact moment, the exact way it happens, waiting for you at the end of your road. Could you live a normal life knowing that? And what about free will? If you can see the future, is it truly changeable? Or are you just watching a movie that's already been written? You might spend your entire life trying to avoid a future you've seen, only to find that your actions are the very things that cause it to happen. Seeing all of time would make you godlike, but it might also be the most unbearable curse imaginable. So what do you think? Would you rather taste colors, fly in a world with no gravity, or see your own future? We've explored some absolutely insane ideas today, from a world that's a giant buffet to being able to literally walk back into your own memories. These scenarios bend the rules of reality and show just how fragile our perception of the world really is. The universe is so much weirder and more wonderful than we can possibly imagine, and asking these what-if questions is the first step to unlocking some of its craziest secrets. But now I want to hear from you. I know you guys have some insane ideas. What's the craziest what-if scenario you can think of? What if we could communicate with animals? What if sleep wasn't necessary? Let me know the most mind-bending idea you have in the comments below. I'm going to be reading through them, and the best ones might just end up in a future video. And if you want more videos that challenge your reality and explore the impossible, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out. Thank you guys so much for watching and going on this insane journey with me today. It's been an absolute blast bending our brains together. Remember, the world is full of mysteries, and the best way to uncover them is to never stop asking questions. Keep being curious, keep imagining the impossible, and most importantly, keep questioning reality. I'll see you in the next video.